Have you ever felt like the world sees you as different, as if you're walking a path that few can truly understand? Welcome to the universe of the Sigma male, that enigmatic and fascinating figure who doesn't fit into predefined social molds. In a world obsessed with labels and hierarchies, the Sigma not only chooses the less traveled road, but makes it his home. His strength lies in defying expectations and living on his own terms, something many desire but few achieve. This video isn't for everyone. It's for those who want to understand what makes a Sigma male so unique, so influential, and so mysterious. Here, we'll uncover 6 behaviors that, while they might seem strange to many, are essential to the Sigma code. From his ability to find power in solitude to his impeccable emotional resilience, each of these traits reflects a level of inner mastery that is both inspiring and challenging. But don't get me wrong, this isn't a manual to turn you into something you're not. It's an invitation to reflect, to discover whether the Sigma spirit, favoring authenticity over approval, independence over conformity, and meaning over superficiality, lives within you. If you've ever felt out of place in a world obsessed with fitting in, this content might just be the answer you've been searching for. At Official Sigma Male, our mission is to shed light on what it truly means to be a Sigma. If these topics resonate with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single detail. This is just the beginning of a journey full of discoveries and transformations. Preference for solitude. There's something deeply intriguing about those who choose solitude as a constant companion. The Sigma male doesn't fear silence or feel uncomfortable in the absence of others. For him, solitude isn't a punishment, but an opportunity to reflect, grow, and plan his next steps. Contrary to popular belief, being alone isn't a sign of weakness, but of emotional strength, as he doesn't rely on others to find meaning or purpose. Imagine a man who, while others are distracted by the noise of the world, finds inspiration on a quiet afternoon to build his most ambitious goals. A solitary walk in the park or a few hours immersed in a good book are activities that recharge him emotionally. This approach also allows him to make decisions without the influence of social pressure, something many secretly envy. But this preference for solitude doesn't mean he's antisocial or lacks interpersonal skills. He's selective. He values his energy and doesn't waste it on superficial or trivial interactions. Instead, he invests his time in relationships that bring meaning and depth, cultivating real connections rather than just adding numbers to a contact list. It's in this connection with solitude that the Sigma male finds strength and sets himself apart. If you've ever felt like you enjoy your alone time more than others might understand, you may be resonating with this very energy. Selective communication. The Sigma male doesn't waste words or try to fill uncomfortable silences. His communication is strategic, direct, and above all, meaningful. This type of person understands that it's not necessary to speak constantly to be heard. Rather, his words carry weight because they are filled with intention, and he knows that quality always outweighs quantity in any interaction. A clear example of his communication skills is how he approaches an important conversation. While others might get lost in unnecessary details, the Sigma analyzes the situation and says only what is essential. This not only saves time, but also demonstrates his mental clarity and ability to focus on what truly matters. Those who know him often say that when he speaks, it's worth listening. This selectiveness doesn't just apply to his words, but also to the people he chooses to share them with. He doesn't seek to impress everyone or fit into social groups. His close circle is made up of people who share deep values or with whom he can have enriching conversations. He's someone who prefers a sincere chat with a friend over the noise of a crowd. Thus, the Sigma male's communication is not just a tool for interaction, but also a way to protect his time and energy. Every word he speaks has a purpose, and every relationship he maintains is filled with authenticity. Disinterest in social status. The Sigma male walks through life without worrying about labels or social hierarchies that often obsess others. For him, personal value isn't measured by titles, material possessions, or public recognition. In a world that constantly tries to label people, the Sigma stands firm in his independence, demonstrating that his self-esteem doesn't rely on external validation. Imagine someone who doesn't feel the need to flaunt a luxury car or post every achievement on social media. Instead, he dedicates his time and energy to improving himself, achieving goals that truly matter. While others aim to impress, he seeks to surpass himself, knowing that true success isn't always visible to the eyes of others. This detachment from social status doesn't mean he's indifferent to responsibilities or lacks ambition. Instead, his goals aren't dictated by society's expectations. If he chooses to lead or stand out, it's because he's true to his principles and because he wants to contribute something meaningful, not to satisfy his ego or external demands. His indifference to social norms often confuses those around him, but this attitude also makes him freer, allowing him to live on his own terms rather than under rules imposed by a system that often prioritizes appearance over essence. Critical thinking. The Sigma male doesn't settle for easy answers or popular ideas. He's someone who questions, analyzes, and evaluates every situation with a deep and reflective focus. This ability to think critically sets him apart from the crowd, as he doesn't follow the masses or accept truths without examining them first. His mind is constantly working, seeking to understand the why behind everything. A clear example of his critical thinking is how he makes important decisions. Before committing to a project, relationship, or any significant decision, he pauses to evaluate the risks, rewards, and possible consequences. This habit not only allows him to avoid common mistakes, but also positions him as someone who acts wisely rather than impulsively. This skill also reflects in how he consumes information. While many blindly accept what they see on the news or social media, the Sigma digs deeper, investigates, and seeks different perspectives. He prefers to build his own opinions rather than adopt those of others. This makes him difficult to manipulate and highly reliable when it comes to well-founded judgments. Critical thinking isn't just a tool for him, it's a philosophy of life. It's what allows him to stay authentic, free from external influences, and always focused on what truly matters. Authenticity. The Sigma male lives according to his own values and principles, without trying to fit into pre-established social molds. His authenticity is non-negotiable, and this quality makes him stand out in a world where many prefer to conform to please others. He understands that being true to himself is the only path to genuine peace and personal satisfaction. Imagine someone who isn't afraid to show his vulnerabilities or express his opinions, even if they're not popular. For instance, if he feels something isn't aligned with his beliefs, he says so without fear, even if it costs him social approval. This integrity makes him a model of respect and admiration for those around him. His authenticity also manifests in his lifestyle. He doesn't seek to appear or be someone he's not. He lives consistently, making choices that reflect who he truly is. From how he dresses to the goals he pursues, everything about him is a genuine reflection of his personality. This congruence inspires others to do the same and to set aside social masks. Being authentic isn't always easy, but the Sigma understands that authenticity is the foundation of a meaningful life. He'd rather walk alone, true to himself, than surround himself with crowds while betraying his essence. Emotional resilience. The Sigma male is a master at handling adversity. He doesn't get overwhelmed by challenges or negative emotions that might arise during difficult moments. Instead, He uses every obstacle as an opportunity to learn, grow, and strengthen himself. This emotional resilience sets him apart, making him someone capable of staying calm even under the most chaotic circumstances. A clear example of his resilience occurs in his professional or personal life. If he faces rejection or criticism, he doesn't react impulsively or let it bring him down. Instead, he analyzes the situation, takes what's useful from the experience, and moves forward with even greater determination. This ability to remain firm and centered is admired by those around him. Emotional resilience also helps him avoid unnecessary drama. While others get entangled in conflicts or are carried away by their emotions, the Sigma observes objectively and seeks practical solutions. This doesn't mean he's insensitive. He simply understands that losing control doesn't contribute to solving anything. This inner strength isn't something he's born with. It's a trait the Sigma cultivates throughout his life, learning from each experience. His ability to recover quickly and move forward serves as a reminder that true strength comes from within. Being a Sigma male isn't about fitting into a label, but about living with authenticity, resilience, and purpose. The 6 behaviors we've explored aren't merely curious traits, but principles that can transform how you relate to yourself and the world. If you recognize some of these traits in your life, you may already be walking that unique path that few choose to take. Now it's your turn to act. What are you willing to change to stay true to who you really are? Perhaps it's finding strength in solitude, being more selective with your words, or letting go of concerns about social status. Wherever you start, remember that true power lies in how you choose to live, not in what others expect of you. Take these lessons and apply them. Take that first step today, even if it's small, toward the most authentic and strong version of yourself. At Official Sigma Male, we believe that knowledge becomes powerful only when it's put into practice. If this content inspired you, we invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. By doing so, you'll not only support this community, but also ensure access to more tools and reflections to continue building your best self. The decision is yours.